House Minority Whip Eric Cantor joins us live. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Greta.
All right. Do you think that you made any traction today?
I do think that the American people saw for about 7 hours that there is a clear choice. There are two sides to this health care bill, one of which obviously I support, which is to put this bill aside and let's start anew in a very different manner. And then it's the president and the Democrats' way of trying to plow forward with this $1 trillion bill, which is going to frankly change people's health care in this country to a system that frankly they won't like.
In other words, are you saying that both sides were heard and the American people had an opportunity to hear both sides, but that nothing has changed?
I think that's a fair statement, Greta, that the people did hear both sides. And unfortunately, there was an unwillingness on the part of the president to acknowledge where the American people are. The American people have rejected this health care bill more times than once. They did it in the town hall meetings. They did it in the elections in Virginia, New Jersey, Massachusetts, in the public polling that we're seeing, in the town halls that we're all having at home. And unfortunately, the president is now just wants to ignore their thoughts. So
what happens next? If no sort of come off the dime, if the Republicans still have their view and the Democrats still have their views, if everyone's still the same, the whole idea of this reconciliation, when you left today and the cameras turned off, did anyone say anything to you that we didn't catch?
There's clearly, I think, a sentiment among those who were leaving the meeting that it is inevitable they will try and attempt reconciliation. If they're successful with that, the real losers are the American people, because this would But Greta, before we even get to that, they'll have to get the House. The Senate is relieved, if you will, of having not only to produce 59 but 50 votes plus the vice president under that process. But in the House, they still need 218 votes. And from the way I look at it as the whip on the Republican side, it sure seems to me that they are lacking in votes on the Democratic side.
In other words, when the two bills are trying to merge, the House has to agree with the Senate's bill because of the way the politics are playing out in this one. But you don't think that the Speaker can get the votes in the House that essentially agrees to the Senate bill?
Right. The Speaker currently does not have the votes to pass the Senate bill. That's correct.
Does she ever say anything to you?
Very rarely.
Don't you guys talk at all?
Niceties only. Niceties. In fact, Greta, I have requested several times a meeting with her, and to no avail. It just seems that she's, again, maybe very committed to her ways, doesn't want to hear any other opinions.
All right, the so-called, the conservative Democratic members of Congress, are they saying anything to you? Or don't they talk to you either? Well,
there are some who really we do engage in conversations with, that I speak with, that many of our members have relationships with, and they are, I think, in a state of disbelief right now.
Did you get the sense that the president wanted to hear from you, or did you get the sense that he wanted to sort of stage this and hope that he can lure you to his side?
I got a sense, Greta, that the president was very impatient with our insistence that we had another way. I was really taken aback with his response to me. I had the bill by my side.
He said something about it.
Yes, he did. He accused me of having a prop when literally I had prepared, we all had prepared to go in there, and the discussion was about the Senate bill. The White House said that their proposal from Monday was the Senate bill with strategic changes. I'm
curious, that exchange you had with Senator John McCain where he said that the election is over. You know, when you're in the room, it may appear different than it did on TV. Did you have the sense that it was a good humor, a good joke, or did you have the sense that it was being arrogant and pushy?
I think if you couple that, Greta, that exchange that he had with Senator McCain with his comments at the end of the session, which essentially were that we will proceed, if Republicans don't come along with our way, we will proceed with reconciliation, and then there'll be an election, and that's what elections are for. I think that those two instances were very telling about the president's mentality about this whole thing.
And the reason I ask is because it's so important that, the president in this particular, he tried to get everyone to work together, and I was just sort of curious how it came off in the room. Congressman, thank you, sir.